Just the Facts is a program created to meet the educational and informational needs of youth ages 10 through 16. Oh, I gotta go. I'm working on the show.
Episode of Just the Facts. It is very exciting. Camera 2, Craig. How you doing there? Craig's on camera 2, that's right. And we have Steve on camera 1, the guy who shot the gas cam. And Corey, tell us what JTF News is today.
Well, we're talking about Supreme Courts.
Supreme Courts. Also, what else is taking place as far as the feature at the end?
Dr. Bad.
Dr. Bad, all right, it's all coming your way. I have a feeling he meets Dozer. It's going to be a good program. We're talking about Deuteronomy. That's right. It's a book of Moses. But first, we have to talk about the Facts and Faith Challenge. Odie, what are the topics?
Hey, Rod, today we've got Exodus wounds, Danger Will Robinson, and Nevermind. That's weird.
It is weird, but it's all part of Program 100. The Facts and Faith Challenge is a very interesting one. Helps us understand our faith better. It is this. If God is real, then how come God is so mysterious? Now, that's a good question. Later on, we're going to answer that question with a real deal. Stay there.
I'm standing outside the courthouse building in Orangeville, Ontario. This structure represents the local government of the city. But what does the word government mean, and why are there so many? Let's take a learning curve. You probably remember this from history class. The word government means control or rule over a country, a system of ruling or controlling a group of people. That seems so controlling.
I mean, the last thing I want to do is be controlled by someone else.
So why do we need governments anyways? Imagine a planet way out in space, a place where there's no government. Everyone just does whatever they feel like. What would this place look like? Would it be peaceful with beauty everywhere? Or would that place look like this? That's called anarchy, which means the complete absence of any kind of government. And because human nature is naturally bad, that usually results in complete disorder and chaos.
So government is needed to make some basic guidelines to keep people from hurting each other. But that doesn't mean that all governments are good.
Because governments are made from human beings, and human nature is naturally bad, many governments become corrupted with power, and that defeats the original purpose of government.
One kind of government that tries to avoid becoming a power freak is called a democracy.
It's not perfect, but it is a good idea. A democracy is a government in which the common people elect representatives that stand in for them. And these representatives are the ones who make the rules. So no one person has all the power of government, but a number of representatives do.
There are many ways to become involved in government, but the most important way, even if you don't live in a democratic society, is to pray to God and ask Him to give you a good government. A government that will give you the choice to serve God. I watched the news today, and I think we could all use a little help from God. That's the most important thing in the learning curve of life.
Back to the challenge. If God is real, then why is He so mysterious? Shot number 1 was because He's stuck in subspace. I don't think so. What is that all about? It's not Star Trek. Just the Facts, Program 100. We're talking about something else. Corey, what's the next topic?
Well, Dad, the next topic is Exodus wounds.
Exodus wounds? Check this out.
A bionic bat surfing the net with a fridge and see Spot get zapped. This and more coming up next on News with an Attitude. I'm Rod knows all, with news and views from your world and your local communities. Bats. Oh no, it's not a black bird that can't see. It's a baseball bat that is supercharged with a hypersensitive, high-tech rubber band. It is reported that this new baseball bat manufactured by Eastman Sports can double your score in one game.
We're millionaires, boys. I'll share it with all of you.
See, Spot, run.
Or see Spot get zapped? This just in from MetaTrack Portable Trackers. It has just been released for sale now. A new radio collar to keep your pet in a virtual pen.
But what if circumstances were to magnify one of them in size and strength?
Apparently, when Spot tries to travel past an invisible line, a computer reads his position and zaps him into a slow stun. Plans are underway for a child collar with higher voltage, of course.
We're up against something here that goes against every natural law.
And finally, now you can surf the net with your fridge. Yes, it's true. The Swedish company E² Home has introduced a fully functional refrigerator with built-in internet access. And it has a large screen on the front.
We may be witnesses to a biblical prophecy come true.
It's a very interesting thing, you know, as we're talking about Exodus wounds. What are we talking about in terms of Deuteronomy? Well, we find something interesting. It's in the Data Master as we're blowing circuits. Check it out. The Data Master says this. Moses explained himself to the people, and he said, I took the leading men of your tribes, that is Israel, wise and respected men, and appointed them to have authority over you as commanders of thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens, and as officials. And I charged you, your judges, at that time, hear the disputes between the people, and judge fairly, whether it be a case between you or you and a stranger. Do not show partiality in judging, but hear both rich and poor alike. Do not be afraid of any man, for real judgment belongs to God and cannot be corrupted. It's true. Real judgment belongs to God, and that has to do with our next fact to live by. Corey, what is it?
Fairness and justice is not an invention of man's brain. It's part of God's plan to avoid pain.
Fairness and justice is not some kind of invention of man. It didn't come from the mind of man, but fairness and justice came from the mind of God. It's true, the mind of God. Remember that. Now, it's important to understand that man sometimes messes things up, but God's law, if completely obeyed truly, cannot be corrupted. And that has something to do with what we call the voice of reason. Let's take a look at the voice of reason.
Roger, Houston. Copy. We have a voice of reason.
Corey, what's the voice of reason in this?
God's judgment has no goons. He sets us free. I call it Exodus wounds.
Very good. As a matter of fact, when the people of Israel came out of Exodus, what he did was he gave them a new leader. Not a leader who thought he was God, like Pharaoh thought he was God, but there was a new leader, and that leader was God. He's called the Bodie, what's the next topic?
Hey, Rod, next we've got Danger Will Robinson.
Hey man, how do you treat your pet? It tells the condition of your soul. We're talking about it just a minute.
Here we go.
Okay, so what's the deal with the animal thing? Have you gone off the deep end, Rod, talking about it's important how you treat your animals, your pets? No, as a matter of fact, my information comes from something called the Data Master. Hit it, here it is, check it out. A person who is right with God always treats his animals with kindness and care. Proverbs 12:10. You say, Rod, how come? Well, the reason is because animals depend on us. We are dominant over them. And you ever notice how people treat people who are their bosses or something? Sometimes they treat them with contempt. That's because their souls aren't right. You see, we should treat those who have less than us better. And our animals depend on us. So that comes right to you from the Data Master. So next time you see Spot, be careful how you treat Spot. See Spot, run.
Challenge, if God is real, how come he's so mysterious? Shot number 1 was because he's stuck in subspace. Shot number 2 because God's too big to see. I can tell you, the Tower of Power is going off. Corey, what's the next topic?
Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, watch this. We'll be back. I'm heading for the hills.
This time on Stuff to Think About. Music. Who's playing you?
Music is cool.
2, 3, go! Sometimes it starts like this. Then we add a little of this, which gives it a whole new sound. But here's the thing. I designed this sound without distortion. And this sound with distortion. But here's the thing. What makes the difference between music and noise? Whoa. Noise is not cool. Music is like the beginnings of life. First there was noise, and only noise. Then God took the noise and organized it into music. All life in the universe has a design. It's not by accident. It has a designer. Hey, have you ever noticed how DNA looks like a guitar string? If all life in the universe is designed, I just have one question. Who's playing you? See, it's like this. If you were designed, you have a purpose that the designer made for you. Now that's cool. But there are some people who say life happened by chance. That's like saying this guitar made itself. The reason they say this is because if life happened by chance, then that means the only reason for living is for ourselves and for chance. But if we are designed, and we are, that means we have a purpose and a plan. And we should find out what that plan is. Because you are designed. Oh, it's true.
Because this is
is a very good and interesting thing. We're talking about laws of the universe. Let's put the Data Master on the screen. Check this out from Deuteronomy. It says something very interesting. Stand by to receive a very important broadcast message. Here now, God has put principles to live by and the rules to teach about within the reach of your understanding. Follow them so that you will live and go take possession of the places in your life and the world that God said you could go take. Now, about these procedures and principles that you have, don't add to what God has given you and don't subtract from it. It's not math class. Keep the commands of God just as they are. Don't syndicate, domesticate, placate, or exasperate them. Just keep them close to you and live by them. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. Rod's paraphrase version. Do you get it? Don't change what God has put in place because you will be in error. Corey, what's the fact to live by here?
When you change what God said, you lose your head. So, don't.
That's right. Don't do that. See, you don't want to lose your head. You know why? Because when you lose your head, then you end up like this person right here. And that's no good. You don't want to lose your head, do you? No, doesn't want to lose your head because when you do, you get away from God's principles of the universe. And when you get away from God's principles of the universe, you look like this person, and you have to wear pink glasses like that with a funny little hat. Don't do that. See, the point is that God has provided these principles from the Data Master for you and I to live by. That's a voice of reason.
The voice of reason.
Hey, where's my mule? It's right over there it is. Can't you see it, Corey? What's the voice of reason?
Danger grows nearer and worse when you change the laws of God's universe.
That's right. When you change the laws of God's universe, danger is near. Danger, Will Robinson. You are in error, Will Robinson. Odie?
Ready, my tweet? Take 3. Hey, Rod, next we've got Never Mind. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha.
2,
Wow,
1.
that's funny.
Here we go.
If God is real, then how come he's so mysterious? Shot number 1 was because he's stuck in subspace. Shot number 2, because he's too big to see. Shot number 3, don't ask disrespectful questions. What's the matter with you? And this next topic is losing a frisbee. Corey, quickly, what's the next topic? I'll find the frisbee.
Never mind. Ha 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 ha.
No, never mind. Watch it.
In the late 1950s, a team of scientists were assembled to investigate the new technologies of nuclear fusion.
I love radiation!
This team became the foremost leading scientist in the world.
Not the world, the universe!
Hidden at the back of this team of specialists was a very disturbed man by the name of Dr. Badger.
No one calls me by that name, except for the dentist.
Little did the world authorities know that this man would soon become Dr. Bad.
That's me!
What possible scheme could this twisted mind be up to?
My mind's not twisted, just turned. Besides, who can possibly stop me in my bad ways?
Just a minute now. When you think all is lost, there appears to be yet another set of superheroes, also products of nuclear radiation. They are the best of the best, the essence of power, the pinnacle of pure punctuality.
What?
Okay, well, I pushed it a bit. But listen now, because here they are, the genetic experimental team that are the test subjects as well as the testers. They're called the Hacksters.
Dr. Bad, what are you up to? Now!
What? You couldn't possibly understand my sophisticated plan anyway!
Hey, you better watch your manners, you bad man.
Since you losers can't form a sentence anyway, I'll tell you what I'm planning.
Hold on to your heads, Hacksters. Here it comes.
I'm going to set up my electromotive forced memory loss mechanism. I forgot what I was about to say. When we were experimenting with nuclear material, we discovered something very, very important. A huge electronic pulse would destroy all electronic mechanisms used to store memory. I, Dr. Bad, have decided to erase the memory of the world and eliminate history! Oh yes, and then I'm going to rewrite history for myself.
Oh, little hacksters! I think I know what he's gonna do! He's gonna wipe out all of history with a nuclear blast!
What? You're so wrong! That's not a... Actually, that's not a bad idea. Thanks.
Then how is he possibly going to erase all of history from the minds of man?
Oh my goodness, it's so simple I can't believe you haven't seen it. Come on, people, what's with you?
Hacksters, we must find out how he's going to erase the minds of man.
You nimnods, everyone knows how to erase the history from the minds of men. You create television.
That's right! I've just launched 72 new cable channels! Tell them, Bill!
The Laughing Channel, the Doggy Channel, the Stoplight Channel, the Tire Channel, the Exit Channel, the Tree Channel.
Hacksters, run for your lives!
He tried to do it, and any time you try to erase history, you have a problem. It's like lighting a gas can. Don't do this at home. It's just a joke, okay? Get it? You don't light gas cans. All right, I think we made that clear. Corey, what's the true voice of reason on this?
To have a future, you have to have a past. To know your destiny, you have to know your destination.
Everybody's talking about destination, but what is your destiny? We'll find out next.
I got a problem, and I need your help. Take just a minute and help me, man. Here we go. People say, you know, the Bible has contradictions, and they use this particular verse to explain. Proverbs 10:18 says, "He who conceals hatred has lying lips, and whoever spreads slander is a fool." Now, wait a minute, just a minute on this. He who conceals what he feels about someone is not right, but he who slanders, that's also not right. Is that a contradiction, or what is going on here? I have an idea. I think I know what it is. You see, you're not supposed to hate, and you're not supposed to slander. In other words, you're supposed to resolve your conflict. Oh, you see, but that right there is going to be a problem, because that means I got to talk to people. I got to resolve it. I got to spend emotional energy in taking care of the problem instead of spreading hate and slander. Now, next time you run into a little problem, think just a minute about that one.
It's happening again. That's right. It's the Facts and Fate Challenge, and the real deal. We're answering it. Very interesting one, by the way. It says this. If God is real, then how come he's so mysterious? He's the unseen God. Can you see him? Well, shot number one was because he's stuck in subspace. First Commander right there for that one. Well, no, that's not the answer because God is too big to see. Well, yeah, he's big, but I think we can still see him. Anyway, the third one is, don't ask disrespectful questions. What's the matter with you? Well, no, you can ask any question of God you want. Don't let anybody tell you can't ask right questions of God. An honest question brings about an honest faith. A dishonest question brings about a dishonest faith. That's what the Facts and Faith Challenge is all about. Here's a real deal. Check it out. It's on the screen, and the real deal says this. A mysterious God is our image, not his. He has provided many, many examples of who he is, specifically through the one called Jesus Christ throughout the centuries. The problem is we don't accept him. That's why he's so mysterious. We make him mysterious. Don't make God mysterious. He's as close as the mention of his name. Corey, let's talk about the 3 topics that we talked about on the program. Say it.
Well, the first one is Exodus wounds.
That's right. That was your cue. Okay, Exodus wounds. What does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. Here's what we're talking about. Moses left Egypt, and when he left Egypt, something very interesting happened. History was being made, he thought, by Pharaoh. Pharaoh thought he was God, but God said, no, I'll take history back, please. Don't take history from God's hands. Topic number 2, Corey, say it.
Danger, Will Robinson.
No. Danger, Will Robinson. That's how you're supposed to say it. Okay, danger, Will Robinson. What does that mean? Don't add to history. Don't add to what God has already done in his law. Don't add to it or take away from it, because then you get involved in cults and they start destroying themselves. That's not good. God doesn't want you to destroy yourself. Corey, what's the third one?
Never mind.
Do that again.
Never mind.
In other words, don't ever forget history. Whenever you forget history, you get amnesia. And you know what amnesia does? It means you don't know where you came from. Well, if you don't know where you came from, then how are you supposed to know where you're going? Everybody talks about destiny these days, but nobody knows what the destination is because we've forgotten about God, and we've forgotten about the data master, and we've forgotten about everything, so it's never mind. No, don't do that. And Corey, that's the whole point of this program. It is called Just the Facts. Can we find facts in this wild world we live in? And the answer would be through
The Bible.
Which is?
Data master.
You do that very well. Didn't she do a good job? Write letters and tell her she's doing a good job. That's right. Well, we want to encourage you to become a part of what God is doing. And how do you do that? By reading the Bible or the Data Master. And we have a plan called Agents of Truth to help people do that, right? It's cool, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah, it is cool. All right, talk more. No, just kidding. Very good. Well, I'm Rod, and this is
Corey.
And we're reminding you that God is talking to you. Are you listening? We do want to hear from you. Write to us. The address is coming up very soon. And remember, we'll be back next time on Just the Facts. And when we're back, we're going to be just as wild, crazy. We might even have more fireworks. What do you think?
Yeah.
We're definitely going to have water, and the temperature's going to be a lot cooler because I'm sweating in here. Remember, God's talking to you. Are you listening? Power Tower, there it is. Show 100 happening right here at Just the Facts. Corey, how you doing? What are the keys, Corey?
I just got news.
All right, there you have it. Did you get that beyond all the noise? It's all happening. All right. That was fun.